Now, God spoke to Israel. There's not a prophet over there. It tells you right here in Micah, verse number 7, that there would be no answer in all these things that's coming upon them right now from them. But he has power, as he said, and he's spoken of in John chapter 16, that he sent a man. But this man is not coming from over there. I'm coming from a far land, as spoken of in Isaiah, I believe, chapter 52, that he would come out of dry ground. The United States is a dry ground, have no substance. It couldn't have substance of salvation for itself. The salvation have to come from the nations out of the Middle East, which came from the habitat and the kingdom of God, the nation that he preserved and created for himself. But God had raised up a prophet here in the United States of America who lived by the spirit of Moses. I am that man. Now, he said, verse 8 here, again, I'll read it to you again, chapter 3, M-I-C-A-H. But truly I am full of power by the Spirit of the Lord, and of judgment, and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgressions, and to Israel his sin. But he let you know that I'm not going to bring a prophet from your house, because you have been deceitful over there. But he going to declare it to you anyway. That's why in the prophecy of Daniel chapter 12, said, behold, I saw one man standing on this side of the water, and I saw another man standing on the other side of the river, and I saw one standing on the water. I am the man that was standing on the other side of the river. I am the one that is standing on this side of the ocean that divides the Middle East from the United States of America, where he sent me to the land of the Antichrist. The Antichrist comes from the United States of America. The Antichrist began with Alexander the Great. That's the reason I wanted to take you back to where God made the promise to Abraham and show you the things at hand, what we see now. It's acting out of racism, but God using the racism in the heart of this man, not because he is a man pleasing to God, but he's a vessel to be used by God to act out his anger against his people for serving the hands of witchcraft. This is what God said. But I'm going to read this part here in Micah chapter 4, where he showed you what will happen in the end. Then I will go back to the first part and start there where it all began at, in the book of Genesis, because there is something that I want to show you where every man, woman, and child needs to start from the foundation, and I want to try to guide you and show you what went on from the foundation of the world so you can have a bit better insight. Micah chapter 4, verse 1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountains of the house of the Lord shall be established, and the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and peoples shall flow unto it. And many nations shall come and say, come, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us all his ways, and we will walk in his path. For the law shall go forth out of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Excuse me. And he shall judge among many peoples, and rebuke strong nations. He's talking about the United States of America. If you don't know what that means, Great Britain and all of the world dominant superpowers. That means Jesus said, you can't bear this now in John because the United States didn't exist. But since this superpower came to exist through the technology and the strength of their hand, now the Spirit of truth is here to reprove, saying he was concerning of this matter, speaking concerning this day. That God had revealed these things in the beginning, early in Bible prophecy. And these things was never hid, but it became a veil when man studied technology and went to school to enhance himself. God put a dark cloud as a veil between him and common wisdom. Verse 3, and he shall judge among many peoples, and rebuke strong nations above all, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. Listen to this. But they shall sit, every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid. For the mouth of the Lord of hosts has spoken it. For all the peoples will walk every one in the name of his God, and we will walk in the name of the Lord our God forever and ever. And that day, said the Lord, will I assemble her that hawketh, and I will gather her that is driven out, and her that I have afflicted. I'll stop it right there. I had to go there for a reason. It all started from the foundation of the world. And I want to give you a better insight. Religions, teaching without substance, sometimes it can be misleading. It can lead us in the pathway of delusion, give us false pretense, false saying, false hope, improper knowledge, deceitfulness, become one of our greatest deceivers. If we don't have no substance in our learning and in our teaching from our ministers, only one a true minister of God whose integrity is toward doing the will of God is when we get true results of what God intends and what he requires of us. Well, from the foundation of the earth, as God created the habitat of the earth, he created it, as we would notice in the book of Genesis, a thing of beauty, and everything was perfect and inborn for the will of God. It need no makeover, it need no enhancement, it need no fertilizer to make the plants grow. It need no purification of water because everything was created perfect on the foundation of the earth. These are the things that happened. But there were certain men which came in unaware, which tried taken and denied God and wanted to be great in the earth. By them not having no covenant with God, they took on other measures according to their own hand, creating craft, and want to create a trading mechanism throughout the land. This was the abomination that God against God, and it caused greed. That's why it was spoken of in Micah 4 that every man will dwell under his fig tree, meaning the trade route will stop. It will stop because it had been the thorn in the side of every man and every nation, every woman, man, and child in this world. It has caused many peoples to be slain without cause because of the trading